I mean, it was a good win. Obviously, we didn't play as well as we'd liked for the middle part of the game. I thought the last maybe 8 minutes of the first half, first 8 minutes of the second half wasn't what we wanted, but I think we showed some character once we got down one, to be able to grind some stops out and get the lead back and extend the lead out. Obviously starting the game, making threes like we did helped. They looked like their game plan was to leave Clowney open. We made him pay, hitting 4 in a row there. Start the game out with, they kind of continued to leave him open. Kind of may have worked a little bit from there. I think he started 4 or 5 and finished 1 for his last 7, but 5 of 12 is a pretty good night. So we know we can make him. He's made him in practice. We recruited him as a shooter. He shot pretty well in high school. Hopefully this will get his confidence going, a little bit to where he can, stretch the floor for us that way a little bit. Some guys struggled. To me, it looked like we still weren't back to 100%. Like we were still a little hangover from our West Coast trip. To be honest with you, we just didn't quite have the pop we had. We outside of a couple of guys shoot. Sears had that run where he had 3 straight threes with the one off the glass. He shot pretty well tonight. With some other guys that didn't shoot it very well. So we're gonna kind of give our guys. They usually lift after the game. There's no lift tonight. We're gonna get tomorrow off. Hopefully get their legs under them so we get a tough stretch coming up. Houston's on one team in the country. Memphis obviously super talented and got us last year, and then Gonzaga. We got those 2 back to back. So we need to get guys healthy, legs under them. But I'll give South Dakota State a ton of credit. They coming off back to back. They played last night at Kent State. For them to come in here and get down as they're down 20, in the first half, and for them to crawl their way all the way back in and take a lead on us. I think they're a team that's got a chance to win their league. They won it last year. I think this will end up being a quality win for us at the end of the year. So it's good to get the win. We could have easily got down 1 and let the whole thing go the wrong direction. But I thought our guys stepped up there when we got down 1 and got some stops when we needed to.
Nick.
You called this a maturity game. How would you assess the group from that perspective?
Still have room to go, to be honest with you. Get up 20 and then give that lead up, only up 7 going into the half, and end up being down 1 after being up 20. I think a more mature group doesn't have the defensive letdown we had, but we did show enough character after giving up the lead to get it back. So, I wouldn't call them immature, but we got some room to grow. Guys have to understand, no matter who you're playing, even if their record's not great, they're Division I basketball players. They're good teams. Last year we had the issues. We go on the road to gave Georgia their only win. They won in 17. That ends up being a big loss for us at the end of the year. We go on the road to Missouri, and they weren't very good last year and got beat on the road. We can't have that this year. So, have we matured enough from last year? I thought we showed a little bit more maturity tonight, but not to the level we need to get it to.
James.
You touched on Noah Clowney in your opening statement, but how big is it to have a true freshman that was banged up coming in and was able to perform the way we performed tonight?
Yeah, he only practiced 1 day all week. He's had the bruise on his tailbone, back, hip area. So for him to basically take a week off, come in and practice 1 day and do what he did, you can't say enough. He took 4 charges. That's a kid that's got special padding we had to order. You guys all saw the fall. It was a pretty bad fall. So he's still considerably bruised. And for him to step up and take 4 charges with his tailbone bruise like it is, I think that shows how tough of a kid he is. So, the 5 threes he made was a huge bonus. I kind of talked to him during the week. I think he started out, you have to ask him, but his senior year in high school, I think he started out maybe 0 for 19 or 2. He started out pretty poorly from 3 and then shot about 40% after that. So I kind of referenced that. Look, we 2 for 16, I believe, coming into the game tonight. So I don't really care what it is. If you're open, you guys shoot the ball. We won't encourage you as a shooter. I've seen you make enough shots. He shot 40% from 3 in live action during the course of the summer. We just encouraged him to shoot it. So I'm glad I did, because we needed all 50. 15 of those points we got from him hitting threes.
Drew.
Coach, I know Mamari struggled from the three tonight, but I know he's made a ton of shots for you in games and in practice. How do you keep his confidence up? And you guys kept him on the floor a long time. I've got to believe it was because of the job defensively that you believe he can do game in game. Just talk about Mamari.
Yeah, Namari's been playing hard for us. I mean, he's a great kid with a great attitude. You know, he's had a couple of good shooting nights. You know, he's struggled a couple other games. We've seen him really shoot it well in practice. We believe he can make shots. I thought he had 6 really good looks tonight. I don't think he shot a bad one. You know, so I don't think he's pressing. So I told him he was 0 for 5. I told him I don't care if he's 0 for 10. He needs to shoot every time he's open. So they're going to drop for us. You know, he's liable to go 4 or 6 next time he gets 6 threes. So, you know, I'm just going to keep encouraging him. Maybe that dunk got him going a little bit. They felt comfortable being more athletic. You know, he's coming off the ACL deal. So I was hoping that I'd send Jaden Bradley to the table to get him because I thought Jaden could give us a spark on D. He got the dunk. I pulled Jaden back and let Amari see we keep him going, get him on a run there. But, you know, he played some solid minutes for us. He was good. We were, you know, we need his defense. He's got length. He's got athleticism. He's got a high IQ. We need him to play well. When obviously helps to make shots, but even when he's not, he can still help us win.
In the back.
Nate, it appeared in the second half that your bigs had a number of opportunities where they caught the ball in the paint 5 or 6 feet from the basket. And instead of maybe looking to score, kicked first. Would you rather see them be a little more aggressive in those situations?
Yeah, like when Charles caught it 3 feet from the rim, I'd like to see him dunk the basketball. Like that, you know, Charles at the rim's a higher percentage shot than we're gonna get anywhere else on the floor. Clowney had the one where he kicked it out, turned it over, should have gone and scored. Yeah, like they need to, you know, we work on them making the reads. Well, the read is to go score the ball if there's a small guard in front of you or nobody in front of you. So I think that they get overly concerned with, all right, the help comes and this is the next read. If the help's not there, go score the ball. Or if the help's 6'0" and you're 7 foot, you may not be a whole lot of help there for them. So yeah, we're gonna go through those clips with those guys, make sure they understand. Like we tried to run a couple post plays for Charles tonight. You know, we didn't. You know, we don't want a ton. I thought, you know, he showed he could maybe score in the Carolina game a little bit. He's got decent touch in there. You know, he just doesn't fight to get it low enough sometimes. And, you know, I didn't think he was aggressive enough sometimes when he got in there. But yeah, if they get it that deep, we'd like to see him go dunk the ball.
Go left over here.
Yeah, just really more talking about after with the 6 minutes left to go in this first half. You know, 37 points at that point, and it just kind of the next like 15 minutes of play, I think it was like 11 points. Like that, what sort of adjustments did y'all kind of make down the stretch to reignite your offense?
Yeah, I know 1 4-minute stretch here. We get the kind of every 4-minute war. We get the stat sheets. We had 8 possessions and scored 0 points. I mean, we struggled offensively. We weren't making threes. We weren't getting to the old boards. We weren't getting to the free throw line enough. You know, we didn't put enough pressure on them driving the ball. I told our guys, like, we just scored 0 points in 8 possessions. Like, we got to find a way to get the ball downhill to the rim, try to get to the free throw line, go get an old board. I think right after that, Clowney went and got an old board. I think he got an and one on it, if I remember right. So, you know, we got to make some stuff happen when threes aren't dropping. When, you know, South Dakota State kind of packed it in on us. Clowney hit those ones early and they just stuck with the game plan. So, you know, they kind of felt like if they were going to beat us, we were going to have to, you know, miss a lot of threes, and we missed a lot there for a stretch. I think we were 4 for our last 25. At one point, we were 9 for 15, I believe. Is that right? And we ended up 13 of 40, so finished 4 of the last 25. That's 16%. That's not a great percentage to over the last probably almost 30 minutes of the game. So, you know, we got to have, you know, I thought Brandon drove it a couple times, got to the free throw line. Sears got in there. Jaden Bradley got the tip in. You know, we got to have some guys that can get the ball downhill and score it. Amari had the cut where he caught it, dunked the ball hard. You know, we needed some more plays like that, to be honest with you.
Blake.
Coach, what's your message kind of defensively to keep them engaged when the other team's hitting the amount of mid-range fadeaways at the clip that they were hitting that?
Yeah, I mean, you know, we kind of trust the numbers. We were 8th in the country in effective field goal percentage because we're getting teams to shoot the non-rim twos, you know, and, I'm looking tonight, they shot 48%, they were 10 of 21 on those non-rim twos, like, typically, you know, you can get teams to shoot about 30% on those. So we, you know, I told our smaller guards that we're getting, you know, Sears, Quinterly, Jaden Bradley, like they needed to pressure the ball harder out on the floor. Like they couldn't let the guards get down that deep on them. They were getting down and just pulling up over the top. Like they need to put more ball pressure them out at 25 feet, not let them be that comfortable getting it that deep. But shoot, some of those shots are shots we're trying to give up and just contest them a little harder, make it a little tougher. You know, they kind of stuck with their game plan. We stuck with our game plan. You know, we were 0 for 2 on non-rim twos. They were 10 of 21. I think, you know, if you look at overall field goal percentage, I think, you know, we were 39.7. They were 42.6. We, you know, we had about equal turnovers. So, you know, we just took a few more threes. If you shoot a little lower percentage from three, and take more threes, your points per possession are still going to be a little higher. You know, if you guys shoot 50% from two to equal 33 from three, and we were, you know, right at 32.5, 33 from three. So the fact that we got 43s up and they got half the amount at 20, I think numbers played out. But yeah, shoot, we've had that happen before. I think Tennessee in the first half of the SEC semifinal game, the first half, made a ridiculous amount of non-rim twos, and we just told our guys we got to challenge them harder. It's only a bad shot. We're not trying to give up uncontested non-rim twos. We're trying to give up contested non-rim. We're trying to take the threes away, take the edge rims away, and make them shoot the non-rim twos, but they got to be contested. If it's an uncontested shot, it's a good shot. So I thought we needed to contest them a little bit harder and just make it tougher for them to get to their spots on the floor.
Thanks, Coach.